So what are we doing today? I feel like I kind of want to write weather to some degree, but I feel like writing weather to some degree means writing weather to an absurd degree, because that's how it's gonna be. And it's really hard to write weather, because like, what is it gonna be reliant on? I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Because my problem, or what I was thinking last time was, you know, I don't really have to do weather that meaningfully, because I could just do like yearly weather, I guess, but I don't want that. This isn't meant to be a yearly system only. So, I mean, it could be. That's the thing. But I think I don't want that. I don't think I really want it to be just years. Because that would imply a context, right? That would have a use case. Because if you want it to be yearly only, then that means that the game is going to take place with a very quick yearly progression. And that's not what I want. That's never anything I want for pretty much any game I'm ever gonna design. I don't want that. I always want more micro scale. Like, I still like the passage of time. I like the ability to have a game that takes place over a long period of time, like many years. But I like RPGs more than I like Crusader Kings. So we really need to rethink how we're writing this a bit, because I'm writing it too macro right now. It's all just yearly, and that's not how it should be. The same thing with the populations, the population growths. That's also right now just yearly, but it's fine. I just wanted to start somewhere. And writing it any other way would have been a lot more complicated. So now we just need to change the scale, really. So the question is, how do we generate a weather pattern? And the long of it is, in reality, I would like to create some kind of larger climate system using a more complete picture. But for now, I say for now, but honestly, it's not easy either. But you could implement like just some kind of parallel noise and just use that as basis, right? Highs is good weather, lows is bad weather. You know? Something like that. And then you could use easing to determine the extremes. So you could ease to determine like let's say you have 0.6. You check your current position on a Perlin noise map and it's 0.6 white. That's 60%. But if you use easing, you can change the 60% to be like 48% or 50, like 30% or whatever. You can make it less. And then you still have like 90 to 1 or 0.9 to 1 still be like what it should be. And that way you can still have like good weather in areas with more bad weather, right? And I think easing is a really good tool to use in a lot of these cases. More so than using any kind of like second degree equations or whatever. I honestly don't really I think second degree equations aren't really that useful. It's mostly for animation that they're good, like making curves when you're jumping and shit. Or like transitioning from one spot to another in a curve, for example. That's where they're really good. Otherwise, it's like almost never the right answer to use anything like that. Easing and just brute forcing whatever you need is better. So, systems. I want the system to have a subfolder. Alignment. I'm gonna call it world. I mean, see, we have system here. It's this shit. Here we have procgen. I want to make them. I want to make a folder that's called like world or something. That feels so wide. It feels like world and procgen would be like the same folder. Because what would that be? Like, I don't even know. They all feel interconnected too. I'm gonna call it climate. What should we call this? Weather. Or should I call it climate? Because a climate would consist of weathers, in my opinion. But a climate... I don't know. Whatever. Let's just call it something. So how is this gonna work? My tailbone hurts. Ouch. See, I don't like using purling noise. I hate purling noise. Purling noise is one of the worst solutions for every scenario. Purling noise is dog shit. At the very least, you have to use purling noise just as one out of many tools to come to any solution. Like, you can't just generate worlds with purling noise. Then you end up with worlds like Valheim, and it's just so bad. Like, Valheim's world is pure purling noise, I think. And it's just a bunch of corridors of water. Like, that's what it is. It's not a world. It's just a series of islands around corridors of water. That's it. And you just can't do that. And in the same manner, I don't like using purling noise to generate weather or whatever. I actually want to simulate it in a more real sense. Hold on. Because you do want to have some kind of logic to it. Like, you might have I don't like generating it in a way where it's just random every day, right? Because that's really not how weather works exactly. It kind of is, but it's also like if there's a large storm front, you know, that might take several days to pass. And that has some consistency to it, because it's like a large actual physical object, more or less. So, and the same, and when there's more like sporadic rain, that's like a different thing. So that's kind of how I feel like it. I feel like maybe generating rain in a sense where instead of it being like what weather is it today, right? It's more like what weather is coming and how large is it? Like what is the size and the duration of the coming weather? And then we create a weather thing, like a weather scenario, or maybe furthermore, even create like a rain cloud or whatever. And then that's like a thing. Instead of it being weather, that's just like it's raining now, it's like a rain cloud is passing over this town. and that's having this and that effect. And the rain cloud is this and that size, and as it's raining, it's dissipating more and more and more, right? And eventually it'll dissipate and it'll clear up. Or it'll pass by entirely, like one of the two. So, and that's why I'm not really sure. Like, one of the hardest things is naming things and structuring things. Because, like, I don't like this. I don't think climate is really what I want to call this. I think I want to call it, like, weather, maybe. But what do they call? Like, do they have any fancy words for it? Fancy meteorology names for clouds and weather. Meteorology. High clouds. I almost feel like I have to study this. Like, what is a high cloud? What is a medium cloud? What is a low cloud? And what how does that matter? Clouds that produce rain and snow fall into this category. They are low-level clouds. They're called nimbus. Nimbus clouds. I'm gonna put this guy on. There. Now it looks like I'm here. Just don't feel like cameraing all day, every day. So I kind of want it to be something like this. Maybe. No, not duration. I don't like duration. Size. Public vector 3 position. Now, this is a little hard. It doesn't make perfect sense in my opinion, but because I'm thinking like, what if I make weather be like the basic thing? It's just the basic object. So or it's a basic class rather. So we have a weather class, and then I'm thinking we can make like kind of want to call it like weather object or something. So you can have a weather object that's like a rain cloud. And you can have a weather object that's wind. Now that one is a bit of an issue in my opinion, because wind wouldn't really have I wouldn't want wind to be this, because wind works differently. Wind isn't a weather object. Wind is more like it's a result of weather events elsewhere, right? Like that's what wind is. Wind is caused by temperature. So if temperatures rise in the Arctic, for example, then we get falling winds, and those winds cause, you know, they blow. That's when we get cold northern winds, right? And so it's basically like when I mean, it's very difficult because it's like when the weather or when the temperature goes up somewhere, then that means that hot air will rise, and that'll cause cold air to fall. Because it's a cycle, right? Like it's not necessarily that it falls, it's more like it begins to circulate, right? And that's what causes wind. So I kind of want wind to be more elaborate, I guess. So clouds should be something that's more affected by that. I want clouds to kind of just be like cloud system or something. Like it's a if we just have like a size and position, public, does it need, do I need to give clouds rotation? I don't think so. I think that's maybe overkill. But I guess the idea here is that this, like, weather could be something that drifts, and it could be more than just clouds. It could be tornadoes, it could be, well, honestly, there's not that much when it comes to weather, you know. There's rain and there's tornadoes. I don't know what the fuck else. Rain, tornadoes, and wind. But I don't want wind to be this. Hello, Harold. How's it going? The question is, should the weather object have speed? Or should it piggyback off of the current wind? This is something I've been wanting to program for a long time, but it's also really difficult. Because I don't really know where to begin. Because I honestly don't really know how complicated I want it to be. I actually want it to be really complicated, but I don't know how complicated. So you know, like, imagine you have a world good enough. So what I would like to do, or really the plan I have that I want to try, is to do something like typically speaking, the world is split into something like this, right? Some kind of array, 2D, 3D array, whatever. And each tile or each area consists of information regarding that section, right? You do something like this, or you do like even less because you don't need it to be this complicated. But I want to try doing it without... I want to do it something like this. This is... What is this? Is this longitude? I think this is... longitude versus latitude. We use lines of latitude to find out how far north or south a place is. We use lines of longitude to find out how far east or west a place is. Right. So in reality, this would be, you know, this would be a globe. It wouldn't actually be a flat surface. So it would, you know, it would be kind of like this or whatever, you know. It's not possible to represent it properly. But we would do something like this. That's the Earth, or a planet. And then we'd have... This would be longitude then, right? Oh, whatever. You get the idea. And then each longitude, or each latitude and each longitude, would consist of points. So we would have points like this across the planet. And it would be the same for each longitude and each latitude. So well, not necessarily. Because longitude differs, right? Well, I guess the point is that it shouldn't matter. And that's what I want to try solving. So you have these points here, and then here you also have points. And I guess the amount of points would have to depend on the size of the globe, because it would have to be a certain distance to make up like a certain amount of play area. Right? So I want to do something like that, and I want to try like I want to create some kind of system where if the player is standing like here, then what we're doing is we are loading data from here, from here, from here, from here, from here, from here. And we are then creating an area based on the data that's contained within these longitude and latitude points. But the difficult part of this is doing it in a way where it's consistent, so it like actually creates a proper world that has like if you go to like a tile or whatever, however you want to try to represent it in the world, it'll look one way, and if you go away and you come back, you know, it's going to be the same. But at the same time, doing something like this means that you have to like put it all together somehow, right? Because you can't have a tile grid. You don't want a grid, but longitude and latitude is a grid. Yeah, but so it's not the same regardless. No, how is this the same as having like a 2D array that's square? It's like saying a circle is the same as a square. It's not the point that it's a grid or not. Like when I say grid, I mean this. This is a grid. Let's not get into semantics. And then the question here is, in that case, what would a position be? Because the longitude and latitude minus 90 to 90 for latitude. That's how latitude works. A2, B2 is the same as two coordinates you have on latitude and longitude? No, it isn't. Because you can't properly map a globe with a 2D array system. You can only simulate it, approximate it. Nah. I'm too tired. I'm gonna go.